Hi guys, welcome back to our lesson this week. I just want to start off by saying how I miss you guys so much, and for everybody who came out to our service last Sunday, I'm glad you guys came. It was really good, and if you weren't able to make it, I really hope that you can make it this coming Sunday. Again, it's going to be really good. And it's just good to be back inside the church and just seeing everybody. Even though we're kind of spaced out, it's still good to just see everyone and be around everybody. And okay, so we're gonna get started with this lesson. And the last couple weeks we've been talking about a guy named Paul. Well, today, just to kind of wrap up this unit, we're going to actually talk about a guy named Peter. So this lesson is found in the book of Acts, and I'll give you guys a few seconds to think about whether the book of Acts is in the Old Testament or the New Testament. All right, if you guessed the New Testament, you are correct. If you didn't get it, that's okay. You'll get it next time. So this story takes place in the book of Acts, chapter 10, and it's about Peter and a guy named Cornelius. So, Cornelius loved God and prayed every day. One day when he was praying, an angel from God appeared. "Cornelius, your prayers have been heard," the angel said. "God has seen how you serve and love others. Now send men to Joppa and ask for Peter." After the angel left, Cornelius sent 2 servants and a soldier to find Peter. While they traveled, Peter was praying. It was about noon, and he was hungry. God sent a dream to Peter. It was the same dream 3 times, and Peter wondered what the dream meant. Then the men Cornelius had sent were standing at the gate. They called for Peter. God told Peter to go with the men. The men told Peter about Cornelius, and the next day Peter went with the men to Caesarea. When Peter arrived, he saw Cornelius had gathered his family and friends. When Peter arrived, he said to them, "Now I know the good news of Jesus is for all people. People in every nation need to know about Jesus." Peter told Cornelius and his family and friends about Jesus, God's Son. Peter told them all the good news about Jesus. They believed what Peter said and were baptized. All right, so in this story, just to kind of go back over and recap, it starts out with a guy named Cornelius, and it says that Cornelius, he loved God and he prayed every day, and so one day when he was praying, an angel appeared. And when the angel appeared, he told Cornelius, "Your prayers have been answered, God hears you, so send a couple guys down to Joppa and tell them to find Peter." And so Peter, who was in Joppa, he was on the roof of this house and he was praying. And while he was up there, he had this dream. And it doesn't say in the story, but in the dream, it's about this sheet-like thing that just comes out of heaven, and it has every type of animal on it. In the Bible, it says every type of beast and everything. And it would come down and then go back up. And Peter, he didn't really know what that meant. And it says that the dream happened 3 times, the same exact dream. And Peter, he was kind of confused. He didn't really know what it meant. And so Cornelius, he sent his men, and when they got to Joppa, they called for Peter. And Peter he was on the roof, and God told Peter to go with those guys. And so he went with them, and they got to Cornelius's house, and Peter saw how Cornelius had gathered all his friends, all his family, everybody he knew, and they were all at his house. And so when Peter got there, he realized that the dream was kind of about what was taking place then, about how everybody was getting together, and how God was telling Peter that, everybody needs to know about Jesus, not just one person or a couple people, but you need to tell everybody. And that's like in the dream, how it's every different type of animal. So he was meaning every person in this world, every type of person, no matter what you look like, who you are, everybody needs Jesus. And so Peter, they sat down and he told Cornelius and his family, they told him about Jesus, and everybody there, they believed and they all got baptized. So that kind of sums up the story. So a couple questions just to review. The first one is, what did the angel tell Cornelius to do? All right, so if you remember in the dream, in the story, it says that Cornelius, he prayed every day and he talked to God, and one day this angel appeared, and it says, your prayers, they've been heard. And so then he tells Cornelius, the angel tells him to send guys to Joppa to find Peter. So that's the answer to that one. And the second question is, what happened to Peter while he was praying on the roof? All right, so in the story, if you remember, it says it was about noon, and Peter, he was on the roof, and God sent him a dream. And in that dream, like I had said, it's not in the story, but I kind of explained it a little bit. In the dream, the sheet-like thing comes out of heaven, and on it, it has every type of animal on it, and then it just goes back up. And so that's what happened while he was on the roof. God sent him a dream. He sent it to him 3 times. And so the last question is, what did Peter learn from God? All right, so the answer to that question, what did Peter learn from God? It was that kind of how in the dream, whenever the sheet came down, it had all different kinds of animals on it and stuff. Peter didn't really understand that. And so then when he got to Cornelius's house, all his friends, all his family, all these different types of people were there. And so that's what Peter learned, is that everybody, no matter who you are, you need to know about Jesus. And so when he got to Cornelius's house and he saw everybody, that's what he did. He told them about Jesus, and they all believed and they got baptized. Alrighty, so that's the end of the story and the lesson. I'll go over the weekly Bible verse for this week. It is found in the book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 14. And it says, "We tell that God sent his son for all the world." So if you want to mark that in your Bible, write it down, hang it up on your fridge, whatever you want to do, just learn that verse, and just remember that God tells us that we need to tell everybody about Jesus. We all need him, no matter who we are, no matter what we look like. We all need Jesus. Alrighty, so that's the end of this lesson. I don't have a very fun craft for this lesson. I'm sorry about that. They weren't really fun, and they're kind of hard to do over the internet and stuff. So hopefully soon we can get back into having actual Sunday school, and we can do activities together and stuff. But with this, I am going to post, let me get it, this activity page. It's probably backwards to you guys, I'm sorry, but I'll post that in the comments of the video. And I think I have a coloring page too. If you have maybe some way to print it off, if you can, then you can do the coloring page. If you can't, that's okay. But that's it. That's all I have for this lesson. So I just want to say again that I love you guys, and I really wish we could be together. Hopefully soon they'll let us come back in and have Sunday school. But for now, we started having our services inside. So if you guys can make it, that'd be great. I wish you would. And if you can, I can't wait to see you guys' faces. Thank you guys. Bye.